Hey, welcome to the Not So Average Podcast. I'm your host, NSA Jose, or Not So Average Jose for long. I usually say that backwards. I don't know why I said it. I normally say it right. Today I said it backwards. Don't know why. But tonight I have with me my good friend. I'm making sure I'm pointing the right way in the camera. GoldCartridgeGamer, and we're just gonna hang out, really, because I haven't talked to you in like 3 weeks.
I've been pretty busy, but you've been pretty busy also.
Yeah, like all of May, I think both of us have been pretty busy, and besides like Twitch chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what have you been up to, and have you been able to squeeze in any games lately?
Not really. I'd like to be able to, but like this past weekend from sun up to sundown, basically I was working on our soon to be new house. I didn't even touch my phone. Like I missed notifications and news, and literally spent last night and night before trying to catch up. Been pressure washing the outside, planted new plants, did a couple of little things, bought some tools, starting to work on the interior, trying to update it and kind of like spruce it up, make it look like somebody's living there too while we're not there.
Yeah, no, definitely want that. Just because I think one of my friends at work, he was building a house, and they were getting really close at being done, and then someone yoinked the entire AC unit.
What?
Yeah. The house wasn't, it wasn't finished being built, and they installed it, and they cut off the like whole cage and took the whole thing.
Wow. Yeah.
And then he got another one. Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
It's kind of in the heart of Memphis. Yeah, no, being in the heart of Memphis, yeah. He said the insurance was already kind of expecting it because it's happened before in the area. Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's just usual. We'll get you another one.
Yeah. But yeah, he ended up just getting it replaced, and it was good after that. But it just was surprising to hear that would happen. Like, I wouldn't have thought about that. But people are garbage sometimes.
Yeah, they steal it for the coils or copper or anything they can get their hands on. Not even steal it for the actual use of what it's for. They just steal it for parts and scrap metal.
Yeah. Though, it'd be really surprising if they did use it as their own, like, hey, we have the new unit.
Your new units, just go to that house, there's nobody in it, and strip it out of there.
Yeah.
It had to have been multiple guys, because those things are heavy.
Oh yeah, no, they've got to be ridiculously heavy.
Because that's also not a one man job where you just show up and throw it in the back of a truck.
No, because I imagine it's somehow bolted to the ground or screwed into the ground.
Yeah, even if it's not like it's just gonna like slide.
Yeah, no.
I mean, tie it with like a strap around it and jerk it out of place with a truck. I don't know.
But how much are you even gonna get at that point? I don't know.
I'm not a thief, so I don't know.
Yeah, like I imagine if you want to steal, you don't want to get caught so you don't make noise. But if you have to tie it to a truck, you're gonna make hella noise.
Well, I guess you got to be fast. You got to have like 4 guys that jump out of the bed of the truck when you yank it and like throw it in there in one fell swoop, I guess.
But at that point, is the money worth that split?
I mean, when people still catalytic converters, is it worth the trouble? I mean, you're gonna make a bunch of racket doing that too.
Yeah.
I guess it's all about the opportunity and hoping you don't get caught.
True. Can't sell it without a license to the junkyard.
Who said they're selling it to the junkyard?
That too.
Hey, I got an air conditioning unit for you.
They could make it look old, sell it to someone else, and they have a license?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No telling. Will pawn shops take it?
I don't know. That'd be really weird. Walking to a pawn shop. Hey, I want to put this AC unit on layaway. Because you never see anyone buy anything straight out, really.
No.
It's always to put something on layaway.
Mm-hmm.
And layaway itself isn't bad, but you know that, like, most times if people are doing layaway, it's because they can't afford it up front.
Yeah, they're not going to come back and get it more than likely anyways.
Yeah. No, not for that, no. It wouldn't make sense.
I guarantee somebody's come to a pawn shop and be like, hey, I got an AC unit.
But you definitely need to show your ID to, like, sell something to a pawn shop anyway.
You got a fake ID, they don't know the difference.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know if they check that to, like, is it real, is it fake type thing.
Yeah. I was supposed to know how to tell whether or not one was fake because I got my bartending license like years ago. It's no longer valid, but still to take the test, you have to to get the is it a certification? It's a little bartending card. Anyway,
about like the ABC thing, or
yeah, the ABC.
Yeah, I had to take that, and they showed us how to tell the difference.
I can't tell the difference. Not any.
I used
like
to be able to, but the newer ones are harder.
Yeah, which I mean, they're also getting harder to like replicate, but still, people are skilled when they need it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the saying? The invention is no. I think it's a saying in Spanish, but it's like necessity is the mother of invention.
I've heard that saying before.
It feels weird saying it. I feel like I might have heard it in Spanish, but
it doesn't roll off the tongue in English, at least very well.
Yeah, no. They might have worded it better, but that's the gist.
Yeah.
When you need something, you come up with a solution. And while we were talking about stealing, I like looked in your background and I saw the cards again, and I was
God.
You know, when I was a little kid back in California, my cousin, one of my older cousins, he had moved in with us for a while, and we went to Target one day. And this man showed me how to steal Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
What?
Yes.
I mean, it's colored cardboard.
But also, I was like probably 8 years old.
Sure.
And what did I know about it just being cardboard? Everyone was collecting them.
Yeah, it was
like I was into it myself.
Yeah.
Like he taught me how to steal it for myself. And so, like, pretty much trading cards have always been in the same spot at Target, right by the register, so they can keep an eye on them.
Same with Walmart.
Now,
Walmart, Target do have a little bit in the toy section, but majority of it isn't by the registers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But what was I about to say? Oh, so we did grab one, and I had a jacket. It was always with a jacket that had a zipper right here.
Okay. Yeah, like a little like quick pocket.
Yeah, and it was like thick in the front, so it didn't actually look like it was bending around the card or anything. And it was like putting it there, and then you know how some jackets will have pockets right here on the sides, but when you open up the jacket, it's almost like a whole nother pocket because of the way it was designed.
Yeah.
So that was another spot. But where we would open them was in the magazine section.
What?
Because so the shelves weren't like regular flat shelves, right? And because magazines are usually displayed and angled ones. They used to have these angled ones like this that were like 3 tiers.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually touch. There was a dead space where they all ended.
Yeah.
And it was, all right, grab a magazine, start kind of looking through it. when no one's looking, hands further up, open the pack, throw them in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it, I think, that time because he was like showing me how to do it.
Yeah.
And then I think I did it one more time, and I felt so guilty that like to the security guard, I was like, "Here, I'm so sorry." She was so confused.
He's like, why are you sorry about your Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah. And then my mom put it together like right away. I was like, "Fuck." I mean, that's like an 8-year-old, but you know. Dr. Inu 7907, how you doing? I imagine it's Dr. Inu. It might be Drinu. But yeah, no. I used to be really into collecting cards. And apparently desperate enough to do that once. not great.
I can say as a kid, when I was into Pokemon in the 90s, it crossed my mind a couple times, like, easy to just slide this one pack out of the store. They won't mind. It's $4. They're not going to notice.
Yeah. Oh, Drinu. Got you.
Now I find packs just literally opened in the middle of a store, and they've ripped open the pack, and they've only taken the hollows and left everything else. And there's sections in like Walmart and Target, because I'm like, how are these guys getting away with it? So I started looking up at the ceiling, and there's a lot of areas in the toy aisle, I'm sure because there are kids there, but there's no cameras.
Yeah.
It's like they have no way of knowing.
Because there's supposed to be kids there.
Yeah, so they're not. Yeah. I mean, I get why they don't have cameras there. I mean, you don't want some weird creep that runs the cameras at a store looking at kids, so I get it.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, people are taking advantage of that.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yep. Sucks.
Yeah. I think, like, kind of staying within the, like, trading card stuff. Do you ever understand the Dragon Ball Z trading card games?
I tried collecting them years ago, didn't understand how to play it. They're back again, and I looked it up, and I still don't get it. Like, what's a chase card? How does the game play? Like, I don't play the trading card games except for I played Pokemon on Game Boy Color trading card game. But outside of that, I've never played it, but I get how the Pokemon game works or how Magic works or Yu-Gi-Oh! But I do not get how Dragon Ball works. Even the Gundam trading card game, I didn't get how that worked either.
I'd never heard of that one, but
it was like very limited release. I only bought like a booster pack, and then like weeks later there were no more.
Damn. No, the one that always confused me, even though I really wanted to understand it, was Digimon. Digimon's trading card game.
They even card game for that?
Yeah, like the third season was even. Was it the third?
Now I'm gonna look that up.
I think the third season was even based with like it's supposed to be more in the real world. Digimon are like part of a show or like the trading card game. And what's this? They're coming to life? What? They're real?
And there's a trading card game.
Yeah, like there's a new one too. And I think Omnimon is like the rarest card, and I saw a friend of mine pull it on one of his streams. It's actually really cool because he was super hyped. And let me see if I can find Omnimon. Did you ever watch Digimon?
I don't know what seasons I watched. I'd have to look it up, but I watched a decent amount of it on like Fox or something.
Yeah. So that was probably seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, television series. I watched season 1. Did I watch season 2? What was season 2?
Season 2 was when the original kids are older.
Yeah, I watched that. Did I watched season 3.
Season 3, I want to say, is the one where there's the trading card game.
It's called Digimon Tamers.
Yeah, Tamers. Yep.
Where the characters usually like cards from the collectible card game. Yeah, so I only watched season 1 and 2.
Mm,
I recognize the
was
characters from season 3, so maybe I'll watch some of it, but not all of it. Maybe.
mm, my favorite character from that one was Guillamon turning
Oh
into
yeah,
Paladramon. It was so cool. Turns into a whole knight. He was so
looking at.
badass.
So I did watch a little bit of season 3. I just looked up like some parts of it. So I watched 1, 2, and parts of 3, and then I didn't watch anymore because I think I grew out of the whole Pokemon, Digimon stuff.
Yeah, I know. I stuck around for, I think Frontier was the 4th one,
Yep.
and after that, I was
Took a
out.
hiatus.
That's probably why I was out. And
Yeah, they were
I just
away
wasn't watching any.
for 3 years, and then they took another 3-year break, and then took a 4-year break.
Was the next one called like Fusion?
There was Data Squad, then Fusion.
Data Squad. It was so bad. They tried, like, they basically gave another dude Agumon, a different Agumon.
I see that.
But, like, you see Agumon, you expect him to be the Agumon.
Yeah, the one that we know.
Yeah, the one that's in, like, 3 other seasons. The first, the second, and, like, the...
He had, like, appearances in 3, didn't he?
I don't think so. I think it was like a separate, but when they're all like in high school, they do Digimon Tri, which was the most recent series.
Yeah, see, there's called Digimon Adventure. It looks like the original
Digimon
characters.
Adventure Tri. And then, right now there's a whole new reboot. Yeah. It's actually really good. I enjoyed the animation. The fights were pretty cool. A lot better than the 90s animation for the fights that were reused every episode.
Oh, yeah, because they had the same animations for things, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you never actually noticed that, like, in the Spider-Man in the 90s cartoon.
Oh.
You almost never see hits. You'll see a scene of a Digimon just, like, attacking like the air in front of them, and then the other one just receiving the hit.
There was a budget constraint of some kind.
Oh, definitely. I think for Spider-Man there wasn't a budget thing. It was more you couldn't have more than so many punches on screen.
Yeah, I think because it was a kid cartoon.
Yeah. Kind of weird how they judge what kids can and can't see.
I agree.
Because clearly some jokes get through that shouldn't. And it's not even like
cartoons about that in college.
Were there any cartoons your parents didn't let you watch growing up? My parents didn't let me watch SpongeBob.
I had cartoons that my parents didn't like that I watched, but I watched them anyways. They didn't like that I liked to watch Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, my parents didn't like Beavis and Butthead. They didn't like South Park. I never liked the crude humor like that.
But my mom was like, yeah, it's okay to watch that. But she wouldn't let me watch Beavis and Butthead.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Because she wanted to watch South Park. I think it's the only reason she justified it. She's being selfish. I mean,
South Park was clearly more crude. That's why it wasn't on like local channels. It was cable exclusive.
Like, why do y'all watch this? And I'm like, it's entertaining. He's like, no, it's not. Like, yeah, it is. That turned out okay, I think.
I tried watching an episode once when I was in high school. And it was one where, I don't know why, but Britney Spears' head was like cut in half. Yes. Or I might just be misremembering.
I'm looking it up now to see. Yep, you're right.
It was weird. What was it about?
It was her, like, a live performance of her, like, MTV Awards or something. I think it was a reference to something about her new look. She'd cut her hair off.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Everyone was just like, why'd she shave her whole head?
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't remember everything behind it, but I think that was their reaction to that.
Yeah. And they have a quick turnaround when it comes to big events, which is weird. Yeah. Because I think it was not this election, but the one before where it was Trump versus Hillary. They had two versions ready to go. No, they were sure Hillary won. They were so sure that last minute they had to like scrap it and have to like redo it. And it was all like, no one expected that dude to win.
No.
But yeah. Cartoons have made me go down so many rabbit holes.
Like anime and cartoons, or cartoons?
Both. So like on YouTube, I think there's a channel called Blame It on George. But it's spelled Jorge.
Oh,
but
okay.
You can say, yeah. I mean, he says blame it on Jorge.
I found it.
And there's like lost media type stuff with cartoons.
Oh. I'll have to check this out later.
Yeah, and some of it's creepy, some of it's not.
It can't be creepier than that other channel.
Which one?
Meat Canyon.
Oh no, Ross! No, I did not.
Creepier than that channel.
Yeah, no. All you would have had to say. All you would have had to say was double wide surprise.
I noticed you hadn't touched your Big Mac yet.
That was terrible, man. I'm just thinking about like the Miss Frizzle one too. It's terrible.
We watched the Rugrats one.
Oh, I think
that one's messed up. Like, oh
yeah. Now you made me think of the Rugrats theory.
Which one?
I don't know if I want to say it. All right. Tonight we're talking about a bunch of different stuff. Where Angelica and Susie are the only ones alive, I think. And all the other... You've heard it before?
Yeah, where she's like, these demonic imaginations.
Something like that.
And everyone's like, actually dead.
Yeah, like the twins were like a baby whose gender wasn't like found out, so she made like two separate ones in her head, and
because they were aborted or something.
I can't remember what else. Yeah, Dill, I think, is alive, but he was dropped.
Chucky died with his mom.
Yeah. And there was one more baby, right? Or no, that was the 4, yeah.
Yeah, I found the creepypasta of it.
Yeah, I think Blame It on George talks about that.
I hadn't heard that in a while. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I think I heard it as a creepypasta theory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still don't like listening to creepypastas alone in the house or with headphones. I don't know. They make me panic. Like my anxiety goes. It's like, this is something creepy about a cartoon, or like not scary like someone's in my house. Like, I don't know. I don't know why that happens.
Makes you uneasy because I think it touches your childhood.
I guess.
Guessing I'm not, I don't know, shot in the dark there.
Yeah. Because you know what other one does that to me?
What's that?
Ben drowned.
And drowned.
Yeah, it's one about hold on, I'll just look up the actual thing. It's a Legend of Zelda one.
I probably know it and just don't realize that's what it's called.
With the Ocarina of Time cartridge.
I thought it was Majora's Mask.
Was it Majora's Mask? Yeah, it was Majora's Mask. Wait. During the recording of Ben, it revealed the cause of Ben said to be should also want to drastically increase activity during drought. Even exercise the ability to either change the game from Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time. That's convenient as fuck. But I think it was supposed to be originally Majora's Mask, which I guess didn't help that the masked salesman was creepy as fuck.
Yes.
He was terrifying, especially like when he showed that like split second of him being really upset, and you're just like, what? And I think it was right after the first time that he traveled back.
His laugh was scary too.
Yes, it was. And then that statue that they show for Link for the thing Ben drowned. I think it was like a video game asset. And they just like messed with it.
Because he's in 3 games. Ocarina, Majora's Mask, and Oracle of Ages.
Oh, the statue?
No, I was talking about the salesman.
Oh, he's in. Oh shit. Yeah, I know he was in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but I
He's
didn't
also
know.
an Oracle of Ages.
I didn't play that one. I guess that's why.
A lot of people didn't play the Oracle games because it was a handheld.
GBA, right?
It was I think it was GBC.
Oh, okay.
Towards the end of Game Boy Color's life, though. 2001. That was towards the end of Game Boy Color. So, because Game Boy
Advance was 2002, wasn't it?
It launched 2001.
Oh, so
they released it. So GBA came out in the US in June. Oracle came out in May. So literally a month before.
So it was in 2002 when the Game Boy Advance SP came out.
I think so.
That's what I was thinking about. Because that year for Christmas, I got a red one with Ruby.
SP came out 2003.
Oh shit! Then 2003. But that's when
I was just looking it up because I couldn't remember.
That's when Ruby and Sapphire came out. I should have just thought of that.
That makes sense.
I played the shit out of that game, and I even soft locked myself once.
Oh,
I've
heard about that? But you can do that in those games, the originals.
Yeah. So I can't remember the name of the town, but it's one of the first towns you go to that you have to take the boat to.
Yep, I know what you're talking about now because I watched a video how they fixed it in the remakes.
Well, yeah, they just made it to where you don't need a Pokemon that needs Surf, and right?
Yeah,
they have
they have a guy there that if you don't have a Pokemon that has Surf, he'll give you one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can't get off there get out of the city or the island without Surf. And so someone in the game gets rid of their Pokemon that has Surf. And then when they try to leave the Poke Center, a guy stops them and hands them a Pokemon.
Yeah.
so that the user can leave. But before, in the original, my understanding was that if you didn't have a Pokemon when you got there with Surf, then you were stuck.
I think that's not what happened to me.
Oh, you did even worse then.
Yes. Like I was locked. Because Surf, you get like halfway through the game, I think, right?
I don't remember in those games.
I feel like Surf is usually a little later in the game.
Well, Sapphire, when do you learn?
Because the fighting gym, I think, is the second. The second one, and that's on the like island in the bottom left. Where's Cerebi when I need it? There we go.
That is the go-to site.
Oh yeah, I've been using it since like 2007.
It's been around a long time, and
It really has.
Deck is terrible, but it's great.
Oh yeah, like it's the best Pokemon information website ever.
And the person that runs it, like they're active on forums and social media.
Like I want to say it was 2007, or was it already 2008? It might have been already 2008 when Diamond and Pearl came out, I think.
Now I'm curious to when.
Yeah, because it came out like April. That means I was already in the second half of the year, and I was at this one school that I started in 7th grade. So yeah, it'll have to be.
Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006.
In the US?
2007.
Because that's... I knew it.
I had to look it up.
Because I think up to Black and X and Y were the first ones that weren't staggered releases, right? They were the first worldwide ones.
No. Japan got it before everybody, and then everyone else got it the same week.
Okay. I think that's the closest it had been, because Black and White didn't come out for like a whole year, I think, also.
Yeah, I'm looking at
and Black and White too. Because I got to play Black and White. Well, I think I played White. Yeah, I played White like 3 months before it came out in the US, because a friend of mine had gotten one from Japan, and he let me borrow it. And then he moved away all of a sudden, never came back to school. Like he mentioned he was going to move, but he just one day just didn't show up. So I didn't get to give it back to him.
Came out pretty close together.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, June in Japan and then October in the same year.
Oh yeah, that's pretty close.
I'm trying to see when they officially the first Pokemon game to do worldwide was X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
That
and
was
them like it's within 1 week. It happened at the same time. Just call it that.
After that, it looks like they maintain worldwide releases.
Yeah. Because people didn't really.
Nobody wanted to wait.
Yeah, no. Everyone always ended up knowing stuff beforehand.
Or if importing or.
Because for a while, they were coming out here in time with like the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they just skipped the movies. They weren't like pushing the movies as hard here anymore. Because after Deoxys, I don't really remember. Okay, I think I remember like the Diamond and Pearl one, but I don't remember after that.
I stopped watching the movies after the third movie.
Third one? Oh, with Entei? Entei was so badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then Celebi was Pokemon Forever. And then after that was... Damn.
Pokemon Heroes, Latios, and Latias.
Yes, and that is why I want to go to Venice.
Because of that movie?
Yeah. Once I found out it was inspired by the city of Venice, I was like, yo, I need to go sometime. And I like And I think I found out in high school, like, the city has been drowning. I'm like, what?
So sad.
Yeah. And then have you seen Spider-Man Far From Home?
I haven't yet.
No. So there's part where, like, on vacation, and they go to Venice, and they go into the hotel, and he steps down into the room, and it's full of water.
Oh no.
Yeah, like ankle deep.
It's not like a puddle anymore.
No. And I can't remember who I was talking with about it the other day, about Venice. I think it was Adam. And Adam was like, oh yeah, no, they have regulations to where their outlets have to be up to like here.
It makes sense. Otherwise they'd be shorted out.
Oh yeah, no, they'd be pretty screwed. Or shocked.
Literally.
Yeah. But talking about huh?
I was gonna say, you're excited for Diamond and Pearl this year.
I don't know how to feel anymore about it. I was so excited. I was so excited about a Diamond and Pearl remake, and then
what bothers you about it? I'm just curious.
So at first, I didn't mind the chibi design. I think it's fine. But then I forget the YouTuber's name, but I think I sent you the video of footage he put together in like one day. And it looked more like what they showed for Arceus. But it was everything happening in Diamond and Pearl's remakes. Oh. And I'm just like, dang, that would have been way cooler.
I'm glad they didn't go the Let's Go route, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that would have kind of hurt it.
I liked the art style of Let's Go, but I did not like how wild battles were taken out of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're like, oh, you can only use a Pokeball. And I'm like, no.
I mean, in that case, they could have just like done another, like use what they have for Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
it looks like they do for the battles anyway. And that's why I'm like, why didn't they just do that? I don't know. I guess they would have had to redesign every city again and make it feel like a city instead of just a little building. And it was this way. It's a more one-for-one remake, kind of.
I think we're getting a new trailer at E3 of it, so maybe it'll look better.
I hope so.
Because I feel like everything they showed was kind of rough looking.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
and definitely for Arceus.
Not out yet, not polished. And I get when a company puts together a trailer, it's not like this is the most recent build as of last week. Like it's months ago.
Yeah.
I get that. But I'm hoping that fans are happier with Diamond and Pearl remake.
I kind of wish it had. Oh, you never played that, Jen? It's one of my favorites. I want to say I easily put over 1,000 hours into it.
I played Gen 1, Gen 2, and then fell out, and then picked up Platinum used at GameStop when it was like not expensive.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Played Platinum briefly, and then it was like, I don't know, I just don't really have time. I can't get into it, so I sold it, and then bought Soul Silver, and I was like,
I probably bought the one you sold.
Probably.
I bought the case like a few months after. Oh no, earlier. No, it was middle last year. Damn. Time's been flying. I bought
Soul Silver the year after the Platinum and was like, I'm digging it. And then I just dropped it. And I was like, I got into this mood like, I'm going to go sell my DS because I'm not playing it. I'm playing my PSP more. So I sold Soul Silver, my DS Lite, and everything. And then I just took
you can't imagine selling any console now.
I go look back on history and I'm like, why did I sell this? Why did I sell that? Yeah. I regret selling my launch Wii. That was dumb because I had so many virtual console games on there and there was no way to tie. So, but when Wii was out, there was a way to tie your purchases to a Nintendo account, but they shut that database and system down. Because I reached out to Nintendo and I was like, if I were able to find a Wii, and this was when the Wii service was still online, I was like, is there not a way you could recover that and let me get my games back? And they're like, no, we shut it all down. It's gone. I was like, well, that sucks. I even contacted the guy I'd sold my Wii to a year or two ago, and I was like, hey, is there any chance you still have that thing? I'll pay you double what you paid me just to get it back. And he was like, no, I sold it off. I was like, how long ago? He's like, oh, yeah, years ago. I was like, do you happen to remember where it went? He's like, no, I don't know where it is now. And I'm like, damn it.
Damn.
Luckily, my wife has a near launch Wii, but I really wanted to have mine back that had so much stuff on it.
Like, what games did I have?
Like, I bought every N64 game for Virtual Console, and I bought a bunch of all kinds of games for it. I was constantly buying Wii Shop points every week.
Dang.
I probably spent way too much money on it, but gamer life.
So you know how Wii is the highest selling console, right? Is it still, or did Switch pass it?
Switch hasn't beat it yet, but it's on track to blow by it.
Yeah. So I was one of the few people who never got one. To this day, I have not owned a Wii. I've owned a Wii U, but it's not the same.
It's the same.
But I mean, as owning the Wii when the Wii came out.
Oh, like during the hype and craze.
Yeah.
I can tell you the hype and craze was driven by casuals. It's literally what
for sure.
Back in the gaming. Like, I worked at GameStop when the Wii was out and the Wii Fit was out. And people would come in and they're like, how many do you have? And I'm like, I can't tell you. So can I buy more than one? No, you can only buy one. Well, what if I leave and come back in? Can I buy another? I'm like, nope, it's one per day. Well, can you take my friend's credit card over the phone? I was like, no, I cannot. That's not legally allowed.
Hell
business
no.
do that. Like, that's on them, but legally we can't do that. And they're like, well, can you hold it? I'm like, no, first come, first serve. If you leave and the next person comes in, that's the last one. Sorry. They're like, so you're telling me there's two in the back? I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I said, if. I said, I'm not telling you if we have 5, 10, 15, 3, 1 in the back. And it got so bad at some of the stores that they learned the box they would come in from UPS.
Oh, no.
Come in the back of the store because they would try to maul him for the Wii boxes and be like, how many do you have in there? Can I get one? Can I have them? And so we just told the guy, look, we know protocol is not to come through the front door, but you have to come through the back. Call us when you get here. We'll unlock the fire escape and turn off the alarm and let you in through the back and just set the boxes in the storage room. Because if you don't, you're going to get mauled coming in through the front door. Because we have scalpers that have learned what those boxes look like.
Yeah. And what's terrible is people think scalping is a new thing as far as people who are casual.
Oh, when casual people are trying to buy consoles and GPUs because of, COVID and being at home, and they're like, oh, these people suck. I'm like, they've been around for years.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks now is that they learn technology and how to program, or they're willing to pay a lot of money for somebody who created their own bot.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's nothing new. What's
and
crazy
just
is
sucks.
You're saying how the Wii's one of the best selling consoles of all time. The Nintendo Switch is on track to beat the Wii, and they have yet to ever give it a price drop. It's the first Nintendo console that didn't get a price drop and is selling like it is.
Damn.
Nintendo has to be proud.
Oh yeah, so proud of they're gonna release a new one at a higher price. Probably.
Yeah, they are. Oh, they are. People are not going to like the price.
Yeah, no.
I already know there's going to be a backlash.
You think it's like 100 more?
So here's my thought on that.
Yeah.
Nintendo must be competitive. It needs to be $349. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go for $399. You're going to have casuals are going to go, I can buy a digital PS5 or I can buy a Switch, Super Switch, Switch Pro, whatever you want to call it. They're going to and they're both going to say 4K on the box, but they're going to go, oh, but there's all these games on PS5 and PS4. You just have only the Switch library.
Yeah. No, virtual console.
No, you get those two services that you have to buy an online membership for. So think Nintendo, if they don't do $349, it's going to be a harder sell except for the hardcore fans. Everyone else is going to buy a regular Switch or a Lite.
So I can see that, but here's why I think they would do it right now. They're like, hey, we're about to have a giant stock of these.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, well, honestly, the PS5 digital is the better option, tech-wise. Why should we buy it? They're like, all right, try to find a PS5 digital.
No, that's a valid argument because Nintendo's like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't get a Pro. You can get these others though.
Yeah.
Like
And
literally,
then,
if you go to a store, show PS5, there's no alternative.
literally, they're going to be fulfilling a demand.
Yeah, and Nintendo's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you can't get a PS5, but you can get it in a Switch. Even if you can't get a Switch Pro, you can still get a regular Switch. Like, they literally are going to fill the gaps for the next year, I think, for gamers. Between games and hardware.
Especially if people trade in and sell their Switches to upgrade.
So there's going to be a production issue with the Switch Pro.
Of course. I mean, it's happening even for like chips for cars and
GPUs, but here's the issue.
And all that.
They're not starting production until July.
And
automotive has already been told they have priority.
Mm-hmm.
You have GPUs, consoles, automotive, a new Switch, current Switch, a bunch of other, like CPUs and stuff, all vying for the same piece of a wafer on top of an industry that's already behind.
And is already pushing past 100% capacity.
Yeah. They're literally trying to build additional manufacturing plants now to keep up with demand.
Yeah.
So you have supply and demand at the manufacturing and sales side, and you have another supply and demand at the retailer. So I honestly think if somebody wants a Switch Pro, good luck. You thought a PS5 was hard to get?
Yeah, no.
Good luck.
So you're saying I should probably look into selling my car sooner than later?
Well, right now, the automotive industry is actually like the housing market. Cars are worth more than they should be.
I know. Right now, so I got a terrible APR on my car, and I'm thinking about selling it because they've told me they'd offer like 16 for it, and I owe like 17. And with the terrible APR that I have, I've only paid 2,000 off of it.
Man,
from 19.
Gotta love that insurance. I mean, not insurance, interest.
Yeah, no, that interest is killing me. So I'm planning, because I need to talk with my dad too. I used to have this old Ford Aspire 94.
Okay.
And my dad and I bought it for 600. I say he bought it. He paid for it. I ended up driving it.
Steal for a car.
Oh yeah. The guy was like, "Oh, it doesn't turn on." And my dad went and looked at it. He opened it up, was looking around, and he's like, "Oh, we'll take it." I was like, "What?" And then he told me not to say anything. I was like, "Okay." And just to we tied it to, we had a Volvo station wagon, and they had
those are rock solid.
Oh yeah. No, we got hit one time, and the other car that hit us took all the damage. We didn't take any. We had like a scratch. Yeah. But
just but a scratch.
Yeah, and just missing a whole arm. Like, what? But he dragged the car all the way to the AutoZone on Summer, because it was like past National, from where we got it, in some like trailer park. And we got there, and he's like, "Yeah, go buy this filter." And then I came back out, and he's like, "Look," took out this like napkin or something, or cloth, and then put in the filter. And he's like, "Go turn it on." Turned right on. I was like, "What?"
Sounds like somebody didn't know their car.
Yeah. But also I forgot what the like. I'm not a car guy, so I don't know what most of these parts are called. You're probably gonna end up. Yeah, good thing you're here, and you would probably know. So there's like this chamber right before the end of the exhaust pipe.
The
Or
muffler?
I guess it was.
Are you talking about? So like on an engine, you have the engine that goes into like people call them headers, aftermarket, or I forget what the other technical term is. I call them headers, but there's a technical term. And then it goes to catalytic converter, and then it goes to a muffler, and then exhaust tip.
So I guess it was the muffler, which actually I ordered it on Amazon, so I think I might be able to look at that history.
Headers are called exhaust manifolds. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. I believe it was that. It had to be replaced because it had a puncture in it, and I used to pull up to work in my car when I did audio video installation, and we were replacing the AV system in the FedEx Institute of Technology there on U of M's campus.
Yep.
I'd pull up, and my coworker was like, "Dang, there you go with that little mosquito." I'm like,
"Mosquito?"
Yeah. I got so mad. I was like, "Fuck, I need to get this shit replaced." And then I finally looked into it, and I ordered it. And I think my dad installed it, or my brother installed it. One of them did.
That's nice of him.
And then I drove around in that for a good while. It was a nice, solid little car. And now I'm thinking of selling my actual car I have right now to get rid of that debt and just not have another car bill.
Free up some income.
Yeah, and that way I can knock out other bills and be ahead of the curve for myself. I'm trying to do better about managing my money and
be a little relief of, stress off your shoulders.
Yeah. Because I think later this year, I think September, I'll finish paying off my bed because I bought a purple mattress last year. Dude, best sleep I've gotten in, like, as far as a bed.
That's good. Means it was worth it.
Hell yeah. Like, so they always say in the like commercial that it breathes. You stay fresh the whole time.
Not getting hot or anything.
Nope.
That's a comfortable bed then.
Hell yeah. I don't understand why it costs so damn much.
Because it's a niche market and there's R&D and there's not a ton of competitors.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can go to any store and buy one.
Yeah.
All it'll take is for like regular manufacturers to go, oh, we've got the same thing now. It's half the cost.
Because I think over like 20 years ago when no, not 20, maybe 20. Well, I remember going with my parents to the store and I saw beds for over $2,000. And I'm just like, no. Especially when it's like get the whole bedroom set, like dresser, all that. It's so much money. And then there's places like Rent-A-Center that just scam the shit out of people.
Oh yeah, take advantage of people.
Yeah, like you can use it, but you got to be smart about it. You got to be sure you can do the payments at a certain rate. Because it's usually like rent to pay or rent to own, and it's like, oh, pay it off in the first 90 days, and you'll be able to like get it without a bunch of extra interest. But then if you go over, you're going to pay like 2.5 times the amount of what it's worth. It's like, no. Because I did that with some online like seller to build my first computer because I didn't have the cash up front.
Mm-hmm.
But they gave me like and I couldn't get a credit card. My credit was bad. And I was like, if I paid off within 90 days, though, I should be fine.
Yeah.
And I managed to like do that. And so I think I paid like $50 extra. I was like, oh, $50 extra is just a convenience fee of being able to pay it over 90 days.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that.
And because a lot of people always see those fees and they're like, no, you got to remove it. Why you put this fee? It's like, I'm not even going to bother making a big deal about it. It's just a convenience fee at this point.
Yeah, it's $50 in a large scheme. That's nothing.
Yeah. It's like saying you found a Pokemon box, a sealed jungle box, jungle set, first edition, online and in person, 2 separate listings, right? And the one in front of you costs just $50 more than the one away from you that you'd have to like pay shipping anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the shipping, yeah, the shipping's probably going to end up being around the same as the convenience fee of you paying here right now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm being able to return it if it's fake.
True.
Whereas online transactions.
In this scenario would have been real. But yeah, no, people.
There are some fake Pokemon cards out there.
Dude, did you see the video of the guy that opened a fake box on stream? Like he sold the box and it was fake and they were like opening it right then and there.
Which one do you remember?
I think he was the guy who sold Logan Paul his boxes. I can't remember. Let me see, because I watched this guy named Jarvis Hughes, and he was talking about it. He was reacting. Collectible Guru. I guess that's his name. Yeah. And like that whole like few weeks of them talking about that, I was like, what? Why? I mean, I get why people are trying to make money scamming people, but it's just like, why y'all gotta ruin everything?
Dude's got all this money because he's scammed a lot of people.
Yeah. And meanwhile, kids can hardly even get regular Pokemon cards now because everyone's taking everything they find and not leaving anything for anyone else.
It's getting better at the stores. Like a week or two ago, went to go to my local Walmart. It's right down the street from where I live. It's a smaller town, so like not a lot of people are buying Pokemon cards there, so it's not as competitive as like in town in Memphis.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible.
And so there were these guys, they were just camping out in the aisle where the cards are, like blocking the self-checkout lane. And I'm thinking like, y'all can like chill against the wall that's right by there. Like it's not like MJ Holdings is going to show up in stock and you're not going to get your cards. So they camped out for a minute, and the people MJ Holdings never showed up today because me and my wife were going to wait, let me get some new cards that were coming out. And so they didn't show. We determined after a certain time, if they don't show, we're just going to go. And so they didn't. So we went home. And as we were leaving, the guys had bought like lunch and they were camped out in the aisles eating lunch in Walmart. Like that's dedication. What? Yeah. And so
I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The next day I get up a little earlier and go up there and I'm like, okay, I kind of learned they stock by like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning at my Walmart. And so if they're not there stocking or it's not stocked, they're not coming. And so I get up a little earlier in the morning and get there and those same guys are there plus other people. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're stocking today. That's a lot of people here. And so I kind of walk around and look and I'm like, I really don't want to deal with these guys because a lot of these people are toxic or rude.
Oh yeah, no, I know from pop collecting.
And I also know that they stock up front and then they'll stock in the toy section. So I'm like, okay, they've got the front card section blocked off. I'm not even going to compete. I'll go wait in the toy section because they can't be in two places at one time. And so I'm hanging out in the toy section and I made it so that I could walk up and down the back of the store and see the card section.
Yeah, you found the perfect route.
Yeah, and so I found a perfect route to like maintain eyesight of where I needed to be and maintain where they are up there. So when they finish, so I don't get like bum rushed or like we're like, oh, I was here first. And so
Yeah.
I'm watching the holdings, and there's two women, and they're taking their sweet ass time to like annoy the hell out of these guys, and you can tell they're getting antsy. And so I went up there and asked one of them, like, "Hey," I finally went up there and I was like, "I know you guys are waiting on cards. I'm waiting on cards too. I'm just looking to buy a few things. I don't, I'm not looking to buy everything. I'm a collector." And they're like, "Okay, well, what are you looking for?" And I told them, they're like, "Well, we were here first, so whatever's left's left." And I was like, "I'm just asking for like one or two things, and y'all can have the rest. Like, I don't care." And so I was like, "Fuck them. I'm going to go back to the toy section." So I'm hanging out in the toy section, hanging out in the toy section. They finally finish up front and they go to the back of the store. And I was like, that's weird. They usually come to the toy section afterwards. And so those guys are still up there. And I'm like, I'm going to wait for it to clear out. Whatever's left's left. So I go up there. They didn't buy any Pokemon cards. They were just being dicks. They bought all the sports cards.
Bruh.
They didn't even touch Pokemon cards. So I started reading online. A lot of people are like, yeah, the scalpers and resellers aren't touching Pokemon cards because the value on aftermarket is going dramatically down because people are tired of paying. Like, they're like, screw that. I'm not going to pay over MSRP, or I'll pay $5 or $10 out of convenience, but I'm not paying double. I'll just wait because Pokemon's printing more and more and more. And they're like, screw it. And so when there's no demand, price has to come down because they have to get the stock. Otherwise, it's eating up profit.
Mm-hmm.
Sports cards are apparently cheaper to buy than Pokemon cards and flip for higher value. So they're just buying sports cards at this point, mostly.
Yeah, that part I'm not surprised about because like I've watched Gary Vaynerchuk for years. Yeah. One of the things I first saw him talking about was sports cards. And as soon as Pokemon cards blew up like 2 years ago, he was right there. He was like, I told y'all motherfuckers. He's like, I go to these garage sales, buy the whole binder for like $20 and just let it sit there.
My wife gives me crap because Pokemon didn't even blow up when COVID started.
Yeah.
Like, it started a little popular, but it wasn't like it is now. And then it got a little more popular, a little bit more popular. Still wasn't bad. And we used to, when we would go to the Walmart to make a run, we'd go to the self-checkout that had the trading cards. Yeah. My wife, I was into Pokemon at one time, and she's like, oh, look at all these cards. And it'd just be like cards on cards and cards. You could find anything. And she's like, do you want to get any? Aren't you into these? I was like, no, I don't collect those anymore. I'm not into that. Because Pokemon cards did get a point where like they were bad artwork and weren't good cards, and pull rates were bad. Yeah. And it just didn't have good chase cards. And one was really like, you had your hardcore collectors, but I'm a casual collector, and it's just like, there's no interest. It's Pokemon's kind of not in a good state right now.
Yeah.
And
it's probably around the X and Y days, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because I remember it was bad for the cards and the game.
Mm-hmm. And so I really went into him, and then Logan Paul had that first box opening where he paid a ridiculous amount for a base set first edition box.
Yeah.
And that kind of made people go, oh, well, my card's not worth this because Logan Paul was willing to pay it. Suddenly value started to get up a little. Collectors weren't like returning in droves, but they were starting to like clear shelves out in bigger cities.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Logan Paul do another video, and then you had a few other videos. You had old collectors like me going, oh, it's Pokemon's anniversary. Oh, Pokemon's doing a bunch of stuff this year. Kind of interested. Oh, y'all got good cards again? I'm interested. And then you have current collectors, old collectors, new collectors, all at once trying to buy cards. And next thing you know, values are skyrocketing and people are buying stuff off the shelf, hoping to pull a nice card just to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have collectors competing with people that aren't collecting. And then all of a sudden you can't find cards anywhere because they're not printing them as quickly. And suddenly we have this huge craze for the anniversary year. You have people buying shelves to flip it because now there's a scarcity. And so that causes value to go up.
Literally created its own like vacuum.
Yep. And now the Pokemon company is like printing them really quickly. So that's part of the reason why value is tanking again, because people are like, oh, well, I've been able to buy a box at the store now. I don't need to buy it. And then you had local card shops. There's part of the problem too. A lot of them will go to small towns like out where I live, or they'll go to they'll go to the Walmarts and Targets when they open, and they'll buy everything to sell at their shop for double the price.
Dang.
They're dirty. And so like when people are like, you're not supporting local card shops, I'm like, no, fuck them.
Dang.
They're doing, well, this is the market value, so that's what I'm selling it for, instead of going, hey, to deter flippers and scalpers, we'll charge $10 more. If they were doing that, I would probably buy it. But when you go in and like an Elite Trainer box is like the thing to buy because it's a big box, comes with a bunch of packs, a bunch of accessories.
Mm-hmm.
Run for like $30, $40, $50, $60, and local card shops are like, they're $200 now. No,
What?
you can keep that. You can keep that on your shelf and let it collect dust. No, thank you.
Yeah. What the heck?
It's just, if the entire community, and I've seen people that were collectors just give up and walk away and said, I'm done collecting. This has ruined it. Heck, you had when McDonald's had those promos, people buying before McDonald's corporate sent out a message, you could buy just the toys at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
People would come in and buy an entire box of those cards. And so the McDonald's would run out in like hours. So the McDonald's corporate was like,
I do remember about that.
They're like, you can't sell the toys by themselves. They got to buy the meals. So people were like, okay, I still want the Happy Meals. And then McDonald's was like, no, you got to limit it because you still have people coming and buying all these Happy Meals and cleaning it out. And because of that, I wasn't able to buy all the cards from McDonald's. I only was able to buy a couple packs.
Damn. How many cards were in the set for that?
If you count hollows and non-hollows, I think there were a total of 50 cards. But they're, pull rates or whatever. But when you can't even buy cards because people are hoarding them and reselling them. And I've gone online and see what they're worth, and the aftermarket value's kind of tanked on them, but I'm still not willing to pay what people are asking.
Yeah.
I figure I'll give it another year, and when no one's interested anymore, I'll be able to buy it for dirt
Swoop
cheap.
Right in.
Because I just want them to have them because it's like a Pokemon anniversary thing.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I wish I still had my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid.
Oh, and then I kicked myself because a couple years ago, I was like, I found my old cards from the 90s. And I was like, oh, I'm not into Pokemon right now, and they're worth something.
Oh, no.
I'd like to turn these into money to buy other nice things. So I sold like 10 or 20 of them. I still have a lot of my original cards, by the way, and Japanese cards. And I sold about 10 or 20 of them. And then I stopped because I was like, well, they're not really worth what I thought they were. I was getting like, 20, $30 a card, but I was, it was like under the impression they'd be worth a little bit more because they were original 90s base set. I just quit selling them and sat on them. And then next thing I know, they're like, oh yeah, that Charizard you sold a couple years ago for like $50 is now worth like $300. I'm like, yeah.
No, and now it's way more than that.
I was like, no, I'm never selling my cards again. I kick myself, and like, I made a list of everything I sold to be like, well, when this craze is over and prices come back down to reality, I'll go rebuy what I sold. And be like, never again. Even if I'm like, I've made a rule. I made a rule with consoles a while back. Don't sell anything. Just keep it. Even if I'm not playing it or think I don't want it, I'll probably want it 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Now, the decision with like anything I've collected, just never selling it. I've bought it, just put it away in a box, and maybe 5 years from now I'll go, oh, back into this. Or as trends come back around.
Yeah. I mean, Pokemon cards were... Well, Pokemon in general is kind of like its own weird trend that loops every so often. Changing from medium to medium. Like, one year it'll be the games. One year it'll be Pokemon Go. The next, the cards. And
yeah, the IP as a whole just goes through...
It's a monster.
It's one of the highest selling IPs in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's the top.
I think it is.
I think they sell more than anything Disney has or Nintendo or anybody. I'm actually trying to look that up right now.
And it's crazy because it's so much younger than Disney. And Disney owns so much.
Yeah, the top 25 highest grossing franchises of all time, Pokemon's number one. And second place is Hello Kitty.
Which over here, you really don't even see Hello Kitty stuff anymore.
You see knockoffs.
True.
You got Winnie the Pooh's third, Mickey Mouse fourth, and Star Wars is fifth. That's the top five. Dragon Ball Z's in the top. Dang.
Yeah, I can definitely see Dragon Ball Z being in the top.
There's Transformers, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece is in there.
Yeah, because that's been going 24 years.
Dang, that is right. Because it's how many episodes now? I know
this weekend was 971, I think.
Dang.
And it's at 1014 chapters.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a lot if you want to start that. I mean, I get like you're not going to finish it overnight, but like that's a lot.
Yeah. Reading it is a lot faster than watching it. Watching, there's filler and whatnot from where they've almost caught up a few times, and they're like, "No, we gotta give it space."
That series has less filler than most animes,
which is still crazy. But the way they also get away with it is the way they'll do fight scenes. It'll be like reaction shot, reaction shot, reaction shot, reaction shot, building tension. Which, I mean, for some stuff, it does work. But because it's a still shot, sometimes, like, oh, that's how much we didn't have to pay extra for stuff, and they'll just zoom in. And it's like, oh, new shot. But there's some stuff as far as that's frustrating, but the current arc has been really good about that since episode, like, 890 when this arc started. It's almost 100 episodes deep as far as the arc.
Is there any end in sight for the series? Like, is the creator been like, hey, I plan on ending at this point? Or is it kind of one of those, it's going to be like The Simpsons and South Park, just keep going?
So when the series started, he said he thought it would run for like 5 years.
Okay, sounds like a fair run.
And he technically is still on the same, the same timeline he had. He still has it, but he's filled in so much everywhere.
I got you. He's put in a lot of story in there and narration. Whereas a lot of animes, like even longer ones like Dragon Ball Z, I still feel like they skip over some things.
Yeah.
Whereas I could see, like, I guess he wanted everything to be really fleshed out so that you really could get to know all the characters.
Yeah. Because so far, everything that's happened has technically happened, including Luffy, has happened in like 2 years, within 2 years of when he started. I'm not even sure if the crew has a whole year worth of time together. Because there's a 2-year time skip somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But everything has kind of happened fast. But there was a lot of growth in those 2 years. Because I think Luffy was like 17, now he's 19. And he got training from like really strong people. And there's so much that reflects from Dragon Ball because Luffy is based off of Goku, which is also why it's like Monkey D. Luffy.
And because they're both shonen properties, right?
Yeah. And there's a theory that the devil fruits have something to do with, I forget which Dragon Ball movie it was, that had like a tree with fruits that gave powers.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it because it was one of the early ones.
Yeah. And so there's like theories that has partly inspired One Piece.
I'm trying to look it up now to see. I think it was the Tree of Might, maybe?
It might have been, yeah.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to remember.
Because I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about that. And they mentioned
the Tree of Might, the one that had the fruit.
Yeah. And
that would be crazy if that was like a crossover.
Oh, there's a crossover episode.
What?
Yeah. But I think it's more of like a anniversary celebration because it crosses over with another property too. And I think Luffy, Goku, and that other main protagonist fight. Then Vegeta and Zoro and someone else. Which is funny because Zoro and Vegeta are voiced by Chris Sabat, through Funimation. And he also does I
like Chris Sabat's voice.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. I enjoy him as All Might, as Vegeta, Zoro. Whenever I do watch it in English, because One Piece, I don't think, for me, carries well into English. Sometimes it sounds like it's more of a mocking voice that they do or something. But I don't think it's that they're trying to do that. They might be trying to do a different voice with one of their same actors that they like reuse, because they do reuse a lot of them.
I've noticed that a lot of animes reuse voice actors.
Yeah. I mean, and I know it's like that over in Japan, but I feel it's like a much higher rate of that over here because we only have so many like companies behind that, like Funimation, and they get so many of the bigger properties. And now they're going to be getting Crunchyroll properties too with the purchase. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, you're right.
And now their thing is going to be called Warner Bros. Discovery, right?
Yep. The logo looks so weird.
It does, because it's like 2 tiers. Warner Bros. And then Discovery. It makes it seem like it's a spin-off.
Yeah, it looks like it's like we got Warner Brothers at home.
But if you want to go outside, we got Warner Bros. Discovery. Because, you can't trust the History Channel anymore.
Nope.
It's so crazy that they've, like, changed so much. Because what was the Aliens one that got them to start doing more, like, off-the-wall shit? That wasn't even historical. It was all like conspiracy theories. Yeah.
That dude's hair just gets wilder and wilder.
Yeah, it does. He always looks like he's like...
He's that guy who never sleeps because he's coming up with all those conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Yeah, because that changed. MTV changed. I remember MTV had music videos. And VH1.
Yeah, my wife was telling me recently she like tried MTV and she's like, it's not the same thing anymore. I was like, what do you mean? It should be music and music videos. She's like, no, it's that. I was like, well, that's very, very sad to hear. And
you know what sucks? I saw it happen twice with MTV. So MTV had MTV 1 and 2, right? Those transition at the same time into like reality TV stuff. Ugh. For like 5 more years though. MTV Español.
I remember that.
So it was originally MTV Español, and then over like 3 years that I had been watching, because I'd just put it and be doing stuff while music videos played all day. They even had like this week's hot, like TRL, yeah. They had that.
I remember that. That was my favorite thing.
Yeah. I like the Spanish host way more than Ryan Seacrest. He got very boring sometimes. And I forget who did it later on.
I remember Carson Daly, I remember is the host.
I mixed Ryan Seacrest was American Idol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think. I'm looking up all the different hosts they've had now.
I know there was a Hispanic guy that at one point hosted it. Or I might still be thinking about a different one from MTV3. Because later it changed to MTV3, which... I mean, yeah, okay. You got 1 and 2, might as well make it 3, and you can say 3. And slowly it became a reality thing too. Because in English there's My Sweet 16... and in Spanish it was Quiero mi quince, which is the 15-year birthday, 15th birthday for girls.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know if you've ever seen or heard how crazy those go, but like it's definitely Sweet 16 levels, but more family based. Because when you think of someone planning, yes, like everyone.
Oh Lord!
Like they'll come in from wherever and, like, oh, this aunt had to buy the dress, or they pitched in with this, and they'll go like they'll make these most extravagant things. The quinceañera will like have, I don't know what the word would be in English for chambelán, but like and I don't know what they would be called. But these guys that she would choose to like do a performance with her, including like a dance.
Okay.
And like I remember in high school, every Hispanic guy, actually a lot of people would just go because it'd be fun ass parties.
Mm-hmm.
Fun for a lot of people, anxiety ridden for me because it's so many people. I'm just like, first of all, I don't dance. Second, you're really pretty. That's a different level of anxiety.
Turn a Raj on us.
Yeah. And I'm just like, nope, not my scene. And I remember there was one where I went because I was trying to talk to this one girl.
Mm-hmm.
And all they did, so they rented out this like school gymnasium.
Okay.
And they have the music blaring. And everyone's dancing. And all the tables are on the like sides of the gym. It's like a double wide gym, basically. So it's huge. And in the middle, in like a huge racetrack kind of zero looking circle.
Okay.
Just going around doing the same dance. People just like this to the song. And every now and then you'd see one, like a dude do a spin. I'm like, yo, y'all been going at it for like 2 hours. I've heard the same song like 4 times.
Just keeps looping.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't get this. And that's when I knew. When my friends invited me out to go play Smash Bros, that's where I belong.
You're like, I'm good here.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm okay, no anxiety. Closest thing to anxiety is my dude about to beat me with my own character.
Oh, like we're playing Smash.
Yeah.
Still can't believe I kicked your butt with Ganondorf.
Dude, you're so good with him. Even though, because like he's so much like Captain Falcon, but slower.
So much slower. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Heavy.
Because of that, he hits so much harder.
Mm-hmm.
I can never get his timing down. And then I ended up switching to Ike, who has like the worst recovery.
Yeah, he's like, he hits hard, but he has terrible recovery.
Yeah. And I realized this past weekend, playing against Paul, Adam, and Nick.
Oh yeah, because
was
y'all
it,
had
Chris?
something on Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah. I am terrible at playing with more than one person at Smash. I lose track of everything because I'm constantly like, okay, this person's over here fighting them. Oh shoot, I'm about to get hit. Like, you really can't look away from your character.
It's so much chaos.
And it's such a tight space. So you can't even really make it into a 1v1 on the side.
I'll never forget when I was at a friend's house for a party. We had, what is it, like 16 people can be on a map now?
Mm-hmm.
We had the max people that could be on a map at one time. Talk about chaotic.
That's a lot. Yeah, no, that's a lot.
At one point, I was just like, I don't even know where my character is. I'm just going to hit buttons.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what other game was kind of like that one time. I got in and there were so many people. And it was way before like battle royales became a thing. Because like that's when we were starting to get 50, 100. Uh, which game was it that did 200? Was it Call of Duty?
I thought one of the Battlefields did that.
Oh, it might have been Battlefield, yeah. Yeah, it was probably one of those. But I think it was just 20 people, and I'm like, yo, that's a lot. I'm gonna lose track of everything.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep up with.
Because even like the difference for me between, not that it was too much to handle, like 6v6, but I noticed the difference between a 4v4 match in Destiny and a 6v6 one. There's so much more chaos. That's why 4v4 is was the competitive, and now it's down to 3 again. But like the amount of people on the map makes a huge difference.
And when it becomes overly chaotic, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not fun anymore. It just becomes like, well, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. And you know what makes that worse?
Like, what? I can't imagine.
Stasis. Getting fucking frozen in the middle of the map on Destiny.
I have not touched Destiny since Beyond Light launched. Didn't even boot it up.
I still have it installed. I don't really need the space, so I'm not thinking of deleting it.
I ended up needing the space, and I told it on Voyage.
Understandable.
I will return when crossplay is actually launched and working, not beta testing any of that. When they officially tell me like it is live, we're not taking it away, you can play with anybody on anything, I'll come back. But until then, I don't mind.
Just waiting.
Yeah, I'm just playing other stuff until then.
Which, I mean, it's not like we don't have enough to play.
Yeah.
And I've already sunken in over 2,000 hours into Destiny as a whole. So
yeah, I don't even know how many between, because Battle.net didn't log hours, so I don't know prior to Steam how many hours I have sunk.
I think they compiled it with the Steam hours.
Oh, I thought it was still separate. I'm not sure.
Because I definitely didn't play over 100 hours on PC on Steam.
Yeah, I was looking at what Steam tells me.
I think you could pull it up with time wasted on Destiny.com or something like that. Look it up on Google. It's probably worded different, but just out of curiosity. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna pull up mine. This is while I was working my first full-time job, and I didn't have anything else I was doing because my hours were terrible. I'd go in at 10, get out at 6, but actually get off at 7. And yeah, because for me on Steam, and it shows the cross save. Well, no, they all do for PC.
Yeah, because Steam says 3 hours, and I know I put more than 3 hours into it on Steam.
Yeah. Mine says 494 hours for Steam.
Yeah, Steam says 3 hours, but then cross save says 174 hours. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, and so Steam shows 494 for me on wasted on Destiny, and Xbox shows altogether between 1 and 2 100 hours. Destiny 2 on PS4 204 hours, and Destiny 1 as a whole 1,209.
Yeah, Destiny 1 I only have 318 hours. I feel like I put more into it than that.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm doing the math. Let me see.
It says time spent in orbital or in social spaces
I
is
guess.
not tracked.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense because there were times me and my friends would just hang out. We weren't actually like doing missions or battles.
But I mean, Steam would definitely record that.
Yeah, I'm going to see what Steam says on its own because I have more than 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Considering how much time I put into what was last year's expansion called?
Beyond Light.
No, the one before that.
Oh, shoot.
Shadowkeep.
Yeah, Shadowkeep.
I know I put a lot of hours into Shadowkeep.
I think I did too.
Steam says I have 176 hours. So yeah, some reason once cross saves enabled, it's still tracking it on PlayStation because that's where I cross saved over to PC.
Oh, okay.
That's, I guess it's screwy how the API works.
Oh, but earlier I was gonna say about with the collecting, pops were my thing for a while, and now I just have a ton of them sitting in my closet. Like there's some that I like having, but then I'm like, especially for the anime ones. First of all, the anime ones were usually harder to find. That's why I also got interest in them. But then I saw like Banpresto figures, and I'm more interested now in taking photos. Pops are usually in the same pose every time.
Yeah, most of them they're standing the same for the most part.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, this other Banpresto figure that's $15 more is way nicer and taller and way more detail. And that's when I started getting into that. But I remember when the San Diego Comic-Con pops were coming out.
Yeah.
Shit was insane. I went to Barnes & Noble and dudes were fighting outside of Barnes & Noble. And you know what the Barnes & Noble exclusive was?
What's that?
It was a blacked out suit Ant-Man.
And they're fighting over Ant-Man?
Yes. You know how much that pop goes for right now?
$500?
$2 less than what it was listed at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that worth it, folks?
Yeah, no, it's like $7. It's just
that's sad.
And there were like 20 of them. So the guys, once they got inside, like they were denied being able to purchase any because they got into a fight. And then there was a bunch right there. It wasn't like there wasn't enough for everyone.
They're just being ridiculous.
Yeah. That's why when they said the whole thing about people fighting at Target over Pokemon cards, oh, I believed it. No doubt.
So what was funny was the media ran with that, and it wasn't actually over Pokemon cards.
Was it Magic?
It was sports cards. Some dude had bought sports cards, like bought a bunch of them off the shelf, and these 4 people got pissed and jumped him outside at a Target in Wisconsin. And were like beating on him and kicking him, so he pulled a gun on him out of defense.
Yeah.
So after that, Target was like, "Yep, we're taking cards out of the store for a minute." So Target officially announced today, but yesterday people started noticing Pokemon cards are being put back into Targets this week.
Really? They made it sound like it was going to be permanent.
They said until further notice was the wording. And what they did internally is they had everyone at every store pull everything off that was Pokemon and sports, and put it into its own cage with its own camera in the back room so that it could always be monitored, because there were Target employees that were part of the problem as well. Or, hide stuff for their friends or giving stuff to their friends, and stealing and etc.
Only putting out when their friends came by.
Yeah, of course. because they'd worked out a deal where MJ Holdings didn't have to come put them out, that they would do it.
So, quick
MJ
question.
Holdings is,
What's MJ Holdings?
They're a distributor for Pokemon cards and trading cards.
Okay.
Not just Pokemon sports cards and different stuff. They're one of 3 U.S. distributors that. So, like, GameStop is the only company that gets Pokemon cards directly from Pokemon. Every other retailer and local card shop gets them through a distributor. So it's kind of like the middleman.
Okay.
So they bring them. So how it works is it's shipped to the retailer, and then they show up and go to the back of the retailer and bring them up front and put it on the shelf. And then they take a picture once the boxes are empty to verify that they are here. They've been put on the shelf. Nothing's been stolen. Nothing's been, hid, kept, etc. Or if something is stolen, they report it and they just go on about their business. And Walmart or Target and the distributor deal with it accordingly. Because there are Walmart employees that were doing that too, where they were stealing cards.
Oh, Walmart, I believe they do it way more than Target.
Because Walmart, they know when they're in, they put them on their own pallet and everyone knows what's in there. Target was trying to make it non-obvious.
Yeah.
The distributors prefer to put them out, not the retailers, because they're worried about theft and etc.
Yeah.
Well, because of the craze, Target worked out a deal where when they arrive, we'll wheel them out and control it. And so the distributors were like, okay, that's fine. Because here's the thing, what's happening with people like Shelby County has about 3 or 4 people that work for MJ that go around the retailers. I'm not saying this happened in Memphis, but people were putting tracking devices on these people's cars, following them from store to store to buy everything when they'd put it on the shelf. Like, it was getting ridiculous that those people's lives felt threatened over cardboard.
Yeah.
So Target stepped in and they're like, we'll remove you from the equation. We'll handle it. So then Target went from that to going, okay, you can only get them on Friday. Still didn't work. So Target said, okay, we'll do one better. You only have so many items a day. It still didn't work because people would get online and get back in line and come back in and buy the max. So then they were like, it's a max of each SKU per person per day. So you have to go to another store. Well, that still wasn't fixing the problem. So they finally said, anything that's over $20 is going behind the customer service counter. Anything under $20 will be on the shelf. Still limited. You cannot get around that limit because the checkouts and self-checkouts are programmed to stop you. They started having security guards stand at trading cards. And then they would have a time where you can only buy trading cards from like 8 o'clock to noon. And then they would stop selling them for the day. And it was Friday only. And then whatever didn't sell would go in the back and be there for next week.
That sounds so exhausting.
It was for Target employees. Like, they were sick and tired of it. And then they were like, some stores were doing like digital cues where you'd leave your phone number when you got there and they'd write your name down and your phone number, and you would get a text message if they had enough cards, and you would get a text like, hey, your number's coming up. You need to return to the store. And they would tell you like, you have this much time. And if you didn't show next, or, you were told you need to be here by this time to buy cards. They tried everything. It still didn't work. So Target finally was like, no, we're taking them out of the store for a hot minute. And they just sat on them in the back. And then suddenly Tuesday, people walked into Targets and started seeing shelves full from them sitting on it. And then Target officially announced on Twitter today that yes, this week, slowly stores will roll it out. Memos have been sent out, and they'll be available 7 days a week. And it'll be a limit of 2 items total. Doesn't matter per SKU. If you're trying to be like, I want to buy 2 10s, 2 boxes, 2 whatever. No, they're like 2 total trading cards. And it's per day per person. So you can't like go out and come back in the store and try to buy 2 more. You have to have somebody else go in or go to a different store. That's what they're trying to do. I don't think it'll work. People will find loopholes.
Yeah, and people always found ways around it.
Yeah,
I remember. Go ahead.
But Walmart's hilarious. Walmart's like, we don't care. Buy as much as you want. You want to buy the whole shelf? Go for it.
Yeah, no, Walmart was definitely like that with Pops. One that I expected better from, as far as Pops, Hot Topic.
Really?
And they eventually got better about it, but it was after. What year did Resurrection F come out? Do you remember? Whatever the year was, the year after San Diego Comic-Con had the
Resurrection
Pops.
F. Are you talking about when it came to theaters or came to like physical media?
Well, so I imagine the Pop took forever to come out, so it was probably a year after the movie came out. But
As it came
the movies usually
came to theaters in 2015.
Mm-hmm. So it might have been 2016 that the Golden Frieza pop. Let's see.
And in 2015, later that year, it came out to physical media. Okay. So it probably was 2016.
So it was, the sticker says 2015 on the box. Summer convention exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
It goes for $234 right now on Amazon.
For a vinyl figure?
Yup. And that's the one you got at Hot Topic. Because they made two variations of the Golden Frieza pop. They made one for if you were at the actual convention, the sticker was different.
Oh, I see. And the eyes are different.
Yeah, I think they're red or something.
Yeah, the actual convention are red, and then the other one, the eyes are black.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. That's worth that much to me. I mean, it's no different than a Charizard card being worth thousands of dollars.
Or my All Might glow in the dark pop. That one I bought for like $20. A few years ago was $200.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was $100. I think right now it's at $200 again.
What?
Yeah, I was surprised that it went back up. Let's see, because I used to use a website called Pop Price Guide.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like, I have an account. I can log in from where I used to keep track of my collection.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All
Might right now, $185.
Looks like there's a few glow in the dark All Mights.
Yeah.
I found one site that's $40. It's a 10-inch.
Oh yeah, I have that one. But the one that I have that's like almost 200, that one's a 6-inch one.
Mm-hmm. Is that a Hot Topic one or?
No, Funimation exclusive glow in the dark.
Oh,
it was,
okay.
2017. Yeah.
I was like, I found a Hot Topic one too, and I was like, wait, what? I see it there. It is Funimation exclusive 2017.
Mm-hmm. And then since Attack on Titan ended earlier this year, the 4 original ones are like more expensive right now. Mikasa's like $155, Aaron's $130, the Colossal is $125, Titan Form Aaron $105. But if you look up the one with what's it called? The pre-release sticker on it from Hot Topic, Mikasa's like $300.
What?
Yeah. All of them are like almost $300 each. But I have no idea how to go about like actually selling stuff. And also I've opened it, so I can't sell it as like new. Bless you.
Thank you.
Because like I'm not gonna try to scam someone and be like, oh yeah, it's brand new, sealed in the box, when it's not. Like I never really liked keeping pops in the boxes like that. But yeah, between the 4, they're like each $300. And I bought them all for about $100. Yeah, because I walked in. If I sold it, it'd be, yeah. But I don't know if I will. I might sit on them for longer. Yeah. And so I walked into Hot Topic because I was like, yeah, let me see what pops they got, because it was when they first were starting, and it was just a little shelf. The ones that sit in the middle of the aisle, and it was only on one side of the like 4. Yeah. And now they have like a whole wall dedicated to it. It's ridiculous. I went to check out because I was gonna get I can't remember what pop. But then I saw those and I was like, oh shit, I'll put this one back and try to get that. And the manager had to come out and he was like, oh, we're not really supposed to sell them. Not right now. They'll be on sale Friday. I was like, but it's Thursday. And y'all close in like 30 minutes. I work in the morning.
It's already on the sales floor.
Yeah, and so like the regular size pops are around like $10. Mm-hmm. So it was 30 for the small ones, and then it should be like 15 to 20 for the like bigger ones. I told him I'll do 100 right now. And the manager said yes.
Got his attention.
Hell yeah. This is the first time I was able to like, I mean, obviously I overpaid. I mean, how we look at it now, not overpaid because they're worth more, but yeah, definitely had overpaid. And so many that like were hard as hell to find. You just can't. So you can find them for really cheap. And they were the harder ones to find. And it's sometimes frustrating. Because you're like, oh, this one's probably... You don't get it thinking, oh, this one's going to cost more. But thinking like, oh, cool. This one's really cool. And it's of this one character I really like. This one's probably worth a lot since they didn't make a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like, the... Like... Entertainment Earth, Shaun of the Dead pops. Both of them have like blood stains on the box and the character themselves. But they sell for like $1 more than the regular one. Given this was all like 5 years ago when I was still buying. Because I started like 2012. I collected for like 3 years and then I was very responsible with money and I was like, no, I need to stop.
You're like, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah. Because out of high school and getting my first job, I was like, I need to make up for everything I missed out on.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Because like a $300 check, 100 comic book store, let's go.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, and slowly became 150 out of the 300. And then I'm like, no, I need to not do this. Especially when I switched jobs and I finally bought a car with like payment plan.
You're like, I gotta get responsible.
Yeah. And that's when I sunk so much time into one game, Destiny.
That game can suck a lot of time without even you realizing.
Yeah, because it's so fun. Like as far as the gameplay.
Yeah, the mechanics and the gunplay just feels so good. Bungie does that right.
Yeah. And I miss like the first game's scout rifles and how effective they were.
Oh yeah, they were way better in the first one.
Yeah. I spent so much time trying to like get good at the game and well, not even just that, just I played so much with one of my friends that's local and these two guys that were from New York, another guy from Cali, and eventually my brother, when he broke his ankle, I was like, hey, we're tired of like rotating people out. You want this PS4? You gotta be our sixth guy. And then he like got really good at it and ended up being the first one to reach 320 during Taken King. I was so mad. Yeah, I
bet
he landed the final roll. I was like, you bastard. Because remember when King's Fall came out, it would take days to finish the raid because people would always mess up.
I always was terrible at the jumping.
Oh, that first jumping puzzle? Yeah, no, it was terrible. And then
I played Warlock, so
Yeah, we had the worst jump. I played Warlock in Destiny 1, but for King's Fall, someone said, hey, why are you running the relic at the very final stage with Oryx? Because you remember that one always started in the same spot. It was with the daughters that it like was random.
Yeah.
I was like, because I'm the one who can do it fastest because I run around and swing my sword also to get faster. And we messed it up once and he thought it was on me. And I was like, no, you guys are supposed to kill that knight, not me. I'm not supposed to grab the sword. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm a Titan. I can do it faster. I was like, okay. Coming with that Titan energy.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, he tried to do it and he's like, what the fuck? How are you moving so fast? I was like, I told you why I'm the one doing it. And
his own words.
Yeah. And later on, I was like, all right, I'm playing a lot as Warlock. Might as well try to get the armor set for the Hunter and Titan, and played through all the campaign again. And it was a good time.
It was one of my favorite raids from D1.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely my favorite. I know Vault of Glass was big for a lot of people, but I experienced King's Fall as it happened. The week it came out.
Oh, when it launched and whatnot.
Yeah, the race to 300. You remember that? I think, among the first day worth of people that reached 300. And we just sat there. Everyone, once you reached 300, would stay in the Court of Oryx just helping everyone else get stuff. Because I think the bond was the hardest thing to get. The bond, the cloak, and the mark for the Titan.
The only thing I remember from Vault of Glass is that's where I got my first exotic in the game.
Oh, Vex?
Nope. Never got that.
Dang. Which one did you get?
I got Thunderlord from a random chest.
Oh, okay. So in that one, I got Vex the first time I got carried through it. They were so mad. And it was the last week that Vex was good.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I
think I even have the video up still from when I got it.
I'll never forget when the very first week that Xur and D1.
Dude, yes.
And everyone's like, don't buy it. Don't waste your strange
it's
coins.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. You find out that's like the OP rocket launcher and you never had it again. And like it was one of the hardest.
Not until right before it was irrelevant in what's the Siva expansion? Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron. That's what it was. Yeah, because all the weapons and armor didn't go forward into that one, or was it going into the Oryx one?
I think it was the Rise of Iron. I remember though, like
I just remembered climbing the mountain.
Yep. When Xur had it again, everyone was like, buy it, even though it's nerfed. And I bought it and I was like, hey, I finally got it years later.
Oh no. Okay, so here's what it was. It was going into King what was the expansion of the Oryx one?
There's Dark Bullet, the Taken King, and
Taken
Rise of
King.
Iron.
Yeah, that's what it was. Taken King. So going into Taken King the last week, that's when Galahorn appeared with Xur again, because it was the last week that anyone really played Prison of Elders, and everyone was using it on whatever that dude's name was, on that boss, just to melt him. and then everything didn't move forward. Everything in Taken King and Rise of Iron could coexist, could be upgraded.
That's true.
And I remember that because Rise of Iron, part of the trailer was that Galahorn was back.
Yeah, but like no one wanted it then.
Yeah, no, because it was nerfed to hell.
Everyone was like, you finally make it where everyone can get one and then you nerf it.
Mm-hmm.
Making it incredibly difficult to get. I remember people like treating it Bungie like, we know you control who Xur has. Can you not? Because we knew because they admitted like, yes, we've planned out months in advance of what Xur's going to have.
Yeah, because
like,
someone found out for like 3 months, a week ahead.
Yeah,
like on Wednesday he would know.
Yeah, he found out how to like see it ahead of time, and so everyone was like, "Well, can you not just one time make an exception?"
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Don't even do it for the whole weekend. Just do it for 24 hours. Bungie's like, nope, it's already decided. It's all random. People are like, bullshit.
I feel like now they would be more down to do something like that.
Well, they want to keep the players happy because they realize players will just go,
oh yeah,
screw this game.
They got plenty of places to go.
Yeah, there's so many other kinds of games now that people are like, I don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll dip. And they don't care.
Man, Destiny has been one of those games for me that just, like Pokemon, like other big, what would we call them? Like entertainment IPs that they've helped me form connections, and because like I've like the newest has been One Piece. Before that, My Hero. Before that, Destiny. Before that, Pokemon. At the same time, Digimon, Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, everything from then.
Oh, Beetleborgs.
Dude.
Beetleborgs.
I'm this close to like just rewatching the whole thing and possibly shattering my perception of what it was.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I'm also thinking about doing a video on that. And I feel like it'd only be right if I watched all of it.
Do you remember VR Troopers?
I do.
I just remember that while talking about Beetleborgs.
I feel like Beetleborgs was the better one, but it's not like a great thing to say.
Yeah, it's not like either of them were amazing.
Yeah. Like the only one that like held through was Power Rangers.
Yeah, because VR came from Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Did Beetleborgs come from Saban also?
Yes. Because remember they used the green Beetleborg for the Forever Red episode.
That's right.
And he's a villain along with Shadowborg and some other Beetleborg suit from the like Sentai series, or it wasn't Sentai, it was Go Ranger something. I was listening to something about that the other day, and people were, because I always like listening to people's retrospectives on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing like, hey, this wasn't what I remembered it being.
Yeah, it's like your childhood.
This still holds up. Yeah.
You're like, whoa, this was good? No, I don't think it's good anymore. Shouldn't have watched it. Ruined that memory.
Yeah, because like one of those things for me is Digimon, right? So Digimon was the better story than Pokemon, but because I thought that for so long, I remember the animation being better. It wasn't.
No, it was hard to watch.
Yes.
So the story was way more interesting.
Oh yeah. Because people actually progressed, and they aged. Yeah, they aged. They reached their goals that they set. Didn't reverse time and de-age after their first movie.
Hmm.
Because it was in the first movie or the second where Ash turns 11.
Yeah, it's like somehow Ash Ketchum never ages, but everyone around him does.
Yeah.
And somehow his Pokemon don't age like but everyone else's
Which
does. It's
raises
just
a whole nother set of questions.
what is he doing to those things? Is he a
Well,
time traveler?
does time not pass? Does it only pass every so many years? But then how do you tell that?
Is there a Pokemon that's like he's in a dream?
Probably Ho.
Maybe.
That
Maybe.
was still really cool to see that first episode. Like, what is that? And then
I remember wondering, like, whoa, what Pokemon is that? That's not 151.
it's
Like,
like
I remember
that's
there
not
used to be
Firo. People used to think it was
like
Firo.
conspiracy theories on like Game Facts and all these old school forums, and everyone's like going through the Pokemon 151. And like, I used to be like, maybe it's like a form of Pidgeot that, you give it a rare candy and it does something weird. Or I always had these weird theories that it was like one of the Pidgeots or Pidgeotos or something.
Imagine a Mega Evolution for Pidgeot, and it looks like Ho.
Mind
And
blowing.
people would be like, "So it was Pidgeot."
Oh yeah, they would justify it.
Yeah.
Little did we know, when I got older, it was like, oh, that was Ho-Oh, and Gen 2 was already being like far in development, and Japan was about to get it, and we were just now getting Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
we
I
took forever to get their
kept
stuff.
thinking like, maybe he's in one of the games. Maybe you have to do something special to unlock that golden bird from the cartoon.
And then finally, Gen 2. That's the bird.
You're like, what?
Yeah, no, I
Mind blown.
remember playing gold and silver and never making it past the first two gyms because it was not my game. It was my cousin, so I couldn't save.
Oh no.
So I kept replaying, but I got experience with all three starters. And I know for sure Cyndaquil is my favorite.
I usually go for the fire type.
I did until Turtwig. Turtwig was too cute. And I used to own a turtle. His name was Driggy because I had named him after. You ever watch a Beyblade?
Yep.
You remember Drigger? The tiger?
Yes.
Yeah. He was my favorite Beyblade. What was it? Like a spirit? I forget what they were called. But that was my favorite one. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to name my turtle Driggy. And when I got the turtle, he was like this little.
Aww.
And then I had to hold him like this by the time we let him go at a park. Because we moved to Memphis. And we couldn't have him at the apartment. So we took him to this park out in Bartlett that has a lake.
I know what
or
you're
a
talking about.
pond, yeah. And there's turtles.
Hmm?
And every now and then when I pass, I'm like, I wonder if he's still there,
Wondering what kind of family he's got going on.
Yeah, because I mean, turtles live a long time.
They do. I mean, at my rental house that we're in, we have a pond in the back, and there's 40, 50 turtles back there, and they range in size from like little babies like this big to ones that are like the size of a dinner plate.
Dude, it's insane how big they get.
I know those dinner plate size ones have got to be old.
Yeah.
And like relative to all the others.
So I don't know if it's a weird thing, but my parents, when we would leave the house, when we were still in California, they would take the turtle out of the tank and like put him on the ground and let him just explore the house while we were out. We'd always find him. Yeah, we'd always find him like this behind the couch, stuck.
Oh, poor thing. I look at all the starters now to see, because I skipped so many Pokemon games.
Yeah. I think Adam didn't play Black and White or Black and White 2. So I was planning on doing that next. I wonder which starter he would choose. Because I don't remember their names. No one's Snivy. Yeah.
Ivy, Big, and Oshawott.
I think Oshawott is the otter, right? Yeah, that's the one that I had gone with. 'Cause that was the game I played in Japanese. I was like, oh, cool. This one looks really cool. I didn't like the Snivy final evolution or Tepig or the fact that he was firefighting again.
Yeah, I see that.
Because I can't remember.
Started with Gen 3.
Yeah, with Blaziken. Blaziken was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Infernape was cool, but I didn't care for him because I was like, yo, we did firefighting already. Chill out. Let's look at this grass ground turtle over here. That's got potential.
If I would have played that gen, I probably would have gone with Turtwig too, just looking at the 3.
Yeah. Because what was the other one?
Empoleon.
Yeah. I always had the misconception that being water steel gave it like a double weakness to what is it? No, not ground. I think it was electricity that I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, it made sense that a water steel Pokemon would have double weakness to lightning or electricity. But I was very wrong.
It says it's only weak to fighting, ground, and electric.
Yeah. And
apparently it's resistant to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like that. And I found that out recently, and I was like, Empoleon was always viable. Holy shit.
Yeah, he wasn't just some throwaway, whereas like Torterra's got more weaknesses than resistances.
Yeah. But the stuff that he can resist is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Dang, Infernape has the most resistance, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, it covers so much.
I always overlooked the water types except for I was into Squirtle, I was into Totodile.
Mm-hmm. Gen 3, I enjoyed all 3 equally.
I wasn't the hugest fan of Mudkip.
Really? I liked Marshtomp a lot. Especially because he would have like surf, muddy water, and it was easy to do like any electric Pokemon.
What was Trico turns into Sceptile? That's what it was.
Oh, Sceptile when he got Leaf Blade? Man.
Pretty sweet.
You could also breed a Sceptile with a Charizard. A Charizard that knows Flamethrower. And because it's a lizard Pokemon, they can mate. That Trico could come out knowing Flamethrower.
That's handy.
Yeah, it was broken as fuck, especially when it came to Mega.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I remember that from when I played Emerald so much and Ruby. Because I had Leaf Green and I transferred back over Charizard when I got him. And I had a female Sceptile, I think. Or I ended up getting one because of using a Ditto. Breeding with Ditto was so broken. But, I mean, you didn't get the IV EVs out of it, so you can benefit from that. But also, I was never into competitive battling.
X and Y was the first time I didn't pick a fire type of the games that I've played.
Which one did you go with?
Froakie.
Oh, yeah, Froakie was cool as hell.
Because I looked at him and I was like, Chespin turns into Chestnut, and I don't like its final form.
No, it's a terrible design.
Anakin turns into Delphox, and I was like, I don't like that design either.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at Froakie and I was like, I like the way Greninja looks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's water and dark. I was like,
and he's a ninja.
Yeah, what's not to like?
Yeah.
I didn't realize Delphox is fire and psychic.
It's an interesting typing. But me being a guy, I was like, My Pokemon looks like a girl. I didn't want a girl-looking Pokemon.
Yeah, I think subconsciously I probably had the same conversation subconsciously, and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, not because that was what 2011 or 10.
X&Y was 2013.
I was way off.
I think Black and White was 2011. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because that's when I played with the Japanese one.
Did I tell you my boss is a huge Pokemon fan?
No.
He like hardcore Pokemon fan. The dude's played every Pokemon game known to man. He calls himself a Pokemon master. He's been playing the fan version of Emerald called... I gotta find it now. What is it one he's playing? He says it's like a really hard version.
The Fire Red one that's been out recently.
I'm going to look it up. Hang on. Kaizo.
Oh, Emerald Kaizo. Yeah, that one's supposed to be way harder.
He's gotten to Nuzlocke
watching
recently.
someone. Yeah, I'd watched people Nuzlocke Emerald Kaizo last year because I got into watching a lot of Pokemon Nuzlocks, and that's when Adam and I were like, "Yeah, let's do a Nuzlocke," and we picked the worst game with the worst progression, and it just
so fun.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. You get to the third gym and you're still fighting level 12 Pokemon. Yeah. So frustrating. Yeah, you're already past being Charmander. I'm not Charmander. Fucking Cyndaquil. You're Quilava. And if you pick Cyndaquil, the first gym is all right. The second one kind of sucks. But if you pick Totodile, you got Bellsprout Tower. Then you got to deal with Faulkner, which is kind of a neutral thing. But then going through the second gym gets a little tougher.
Flying Bug, Normal, Ghost, Fighting, Steel, Ice, and then Dragon.
Yeah, and Whitney's crybaby ass didn't want to give you the gym after you beat her. You had to go back and like apologize. It's just like, dang. But I just realized it is past midnight. Which means we've been going. Did we start at 10? Or a little before?
I think we started a little after 10.
A little after 10? Yeah, because once I got all the technical difficulties sorted out, and yeah, well, that I think this is a good spot to wrap the podcast. Gold, if people, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you want to open the Q&A and chat at all, or
I don't
know. I'm not trying to push you.
I think if I had figured it out earlier and we had like the next hour, sure, but not this time. I got to figure this out to where it's smoother next week. I'm thinking about doing weekly. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, but
committed.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be more committed about it, trying to actually put out content. Chico Bigote said, damn, I just got here. 2 more hours. Man, no, well, we got to wrap up. I got to go to sleep. I imagine you got to wrap up yourself, and because we both got work tomorrow. I wish I could just go Pokemon card hunting. That'd be fun.
I'll do it for you, Spirit.
All right. That works. Just show it to me from a distance. Like, all right, cool.
I'll send you pictures in Discord and be like, hey, look what I found.
And
if I find anything.
You'll be like, look, Jose, look what we found. I'm like, oh, cool, we found this.
Yep.
But if people want to find you, where can they go?
Pretty much any form of social media. It's GoldCartGamer, GoldCartridgeGamer, depending on character limits. But I think if you search GoldCartridgeGamer, you'll find anywhere because I try to make the name set to that. Because there's like a character limit for the username.
Mm-hmm. I think Twitter is GoldCartGamer, right?
Yeah, but if you type in GoldCartridgeGamer,
It'll
it should still
find
come
your
up.
regular title.
Because I have my regular name set as that.
Gotcha. And if you want to find other stuff that I'm doing, you can first of all look up Nerd 901 pretty much everywhere. We just recently had our 12-hour charity stream, and we had a lot of fun doing that. We raised, I believe, total as a group 7,000 plus for St. Jude. Yeah, it's around. I know it's definitely over 7,000. I can't remember the exact number. And we had fun. Go ahead. Hell yeah. And I do stuff with Nerd 901, and then if you want to find my own stuff like my photography, that's over on Instagram at NSA Jose. Streaming like this, I'm gonna be doing the podcast from now on streamed like this. I think it's more fun, and I do plan to implement some type of like answering of questions because I think it'd be cool as it'd be interactive, and depending on the guest, different questions would pop up. Like with us, obviously, could be Dragon Ball, video games, stuff we talked about tonight, and you'll more than likely in a few months be coming around again. I'll ask you. Well, I'm assuming before I ask, but I'm sure
I'm always happy to be here.
Yeah. Get to know. Now we got them on the hook, boys.
Or need me back, and Jose forgets, you can nudge him a little bit.
Yeah, whenever y'all want him back. Which I don't know, depending on how some stuff turns out, it might be sooner than later.
Which things are you talking about?
Things I can't say.
Is it things that I tell you privately?
Yes.
Oh, those things.
That, first of all, that also sounded very dirty. Don't ever say that again. Not
I could
publicly.
like a preview of what I tell you, so that they don't think it's otherwise.
I think I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah. But pretty much anything else I do, and this will be up on YouTube also. NSA Jose, Not So Average Jose. And until next week, I will announce over the weekend who will be the guest for next week. Until then, have a good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. Adios.